I've been getting a lot of questions lately about how to choose plants for the pond and what plants need to be chosen for the pond. And here's the rule of thumb. You need to go what looks good to you. I like a lot of flowering stuff, tropical things. So I've got a canna here. I like water lilies. This guy here's got a couple different blooms on it, plenty of pads. It's good and healthy, and that's how you know they're healthy too. You've got pads growing up from under the water, they're coming up. It's got new blooms on it. These will be opening up in a day or two, so we know we've got a healthy plant. I like the lotus. They get almost like a bush. They grow up out of the water. They flower huge. You can see some of them flowering on pondmarketphotos.com in my photo album. I like hyacinths too. These guys are going to spread out. You can see this is a hyacinth spreading here. They put a shoot off, grow a new plant. You've got two plants, and they do that once the water gets above 70. They start going crazy, and they shade the water, keep the sun from coming out. And they also, you see these roots right here. These things collect a ton of dirt. If you put them up in your waterfall or in your stream, they're going to help. They're an excellent pond filter for the pond. So I usually get some of those. I get like a couple deep water plants, like I showed you, the lilies. And then the marginals, they really don't shade the water, but they do help pull nutrients out of the water, and they give the pond some height. So I've got a canna here, like I showed you. I like the flowers on there. This is a hardy canna here. In Missouri, where we're at, this guy's not going to come back if we don't bring him in. So I got the hardy version as well. We're going to plant them out in one of the ponds together, and that way, if I don't get to bring this guy in, this guy comes back. Same thing here. I've got a giant papyrus here, and you can see they're giant, big stalks on them. And then I've also got, I call this a pond tree. It's actually a swamp hibiscus. But this thing will look, you can trim it into almost a miniature tree in the pond. It'll lose its leaves, it'll stay hardy. They do flower. Pull that one back, there you go. They do flower, and they're going to get almost like, they'll look like a maple tree growing right in the pond, and they do get flowers on them. And then in the wintertime, they lose their leaves, it'll snow, the snow will get on them, they look really pretty. Now then I've got a couple ground covers, more or less. These are bog plants. They like to be wet, they don't like to be totally submerged, but you plant them on the pond edge and it softens that edge up, breaks the stone, the transition between the stone and the grass. So when folks ask me, what do I need for my pond, I'm going to tell you three things. You're going to need water hyacinths or lettuce, or even frog bed, some sort of floating plant like the hyacinths we showed you right here. Then you're also going to need lilies. Lilies are excellent pond cleaners, and that's this guy right here. And he is a beautiful specimen too. And then you're going to need oxygenators or submerged plants. And oxygenators, I don't have anything super healthy left to show you, but they're just the underwater grasses. They stay underwater. They'll pretty much winter over almost anywhere, especially in Anacris. You just put a weight around them, throw them in the bottom of the pond. They pull in a lot of dirt and debris. So that's really all there is. When you go out and you want to know what to put in the pond, you're going to stick with the floaters, the deep water plants, and submerged plants.